Hello everyone, this is NG Review. Welcome today. We are continuing with the review of our book, Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. We have dealt with chapter 1 that introduced us to our talisman, the PMA and NMA. And our chapter 2, which dealt on you can change your world. Today we are going to chapter 3 of the book, which will teach us how to clear our cobwebs from our thinking, because the cobwebs has been found to be the problem that almost all of us have. That is why in the wealth scale, you have about 1% of the population that are financially free, and every other person is struggling to get there. So if we can clear our cobwebs, we can achieve noteworthy success in our life. Now to dig in. Chapter 3 is clear the cobwebs from your thinking. If I start with asking you now, how clear are your thoughts? What are you gonna say? Is your thought clear? Do you think straight? Is it crooked? Let's see what the author tells us to do to help us out in this our difficulties. There are times we become entangled in a web of negativity, negative vibes, and struggle like an ant caught in a spider web to free ourselves. We do that, don't we? We got ourselves into a tangle, we don't know how to come out. And everybody that comes around us then, receives it. Here, what is happening here is this. Our conscious mind will be in conflict with our subconscious mind and our imagination. Because deep in us, we know what we want. We have painted that picture in our mind, but something else is happening. So there is a conflict between your subconscious mind and your conscious mind. At this stage, some of us give up trying, say, I can't do it. Why some victorious ones use the power of the subconscious mind to get their desired goal. They just dig in. I'm not having it. I'm not getting a no. I'm not taking this no for an answer. I'm going for it. That is what the victorious ones do. It's unfortunate that you cannot avoid these negative thoughts, but can clear it as they begin to form with your mental attitude, which you have a complete control over. You know, when we talked about the PMA and NMA, we all do have it. When these thoughts come, we have that power to change it. But some of us don't know how to do it. But before we get to know how to do it, we really need to know about these negative things that besiege almost humankind. I've asked before, accurate thinking. How accurate is your thinking? To think accurately, your reasoning and your logic, and obviously you need your PMA as a base to think accurately. But we don't act on reason alone, you know that, since there is this strong urge to draw conclusions that are favorable to our subconscious mind. Like if you want something now, you have thought, this is the best, but that is your subconscious mind. But your conscious mind, is that what is happening? So we draw from what we can see as human beings. But this doesn't give us accurate thinking. Because of this, to make a sound decision, your emotions and your reasoning should be in balance. Not your emotion taking an upper hand or your reason taking an upper hand. So the author is telling us this, that for you to think accurately, make sure that your emotions and your thinking and your reasoning are balanced. Balance it up. Think over it. check all the figures and make sure that everything, you are at peace with what you're doing. That is the first thing we need to do to clear the cobweb. The second one is corrections. How do we correct others? Are we quick to see the peg in other people's eye and forgetting our own log of wood? The author is telling us, are you good in spotting the moth in other people's eye? When you try to prove others wrong, remember, you repel them rather than attract them. You go up to somebody and say, you didn't do this one. They will just hate you there and then. Oh, Mrs. Right. They will hate you. So are you good in removing other people's peg? You can achieve this. You can do that in a better way. The author is admonishing us that we can do this effectively by communicating affectionately, trying to understand others, continue with good attitude, understanding why they think the way they think. And don't try to force yourself to them. Because when you do that, it looks as if you're neglecting why they are thinking the way they think. Remember, everybody have their own thoughts and the way they follow things. So talking with them, communicating affectionately with them will help them to listen to what you've got to tell them. If you force yourself in, they will just repel them and they will put you aside. Now, the correction, you can't even do it. And remember, before you go correcting others, think of yourself, am I right in what I'm saying? So don't neglect other people, because negligence is a sort of cobweb as well. To eliminate this cobweb, try to spot the beam in other people. What are they doing right? Acknowledge it. Encourage them. Then with that love and affection, you can help them to remove the moths in their eye, as they also try to remove the moths in your own eye, because none of us is perfect. That's what the author is telling us. The next cobweb that the author mentioned is misunderstanding. If you look at what is happening now, everybody's quarreling because of one thing or the other. How do you handle misunderstanding? When you have misunderstanding with others, how do you deal with it? Do you first examine your mental attitude? This misunderstanding, is it from me or is it from them? And ask yourself this question. Really, what is the problem? Is it me or is it this other person? If you don't know, can you just examine yourself first? You make sure that you are on right standing with what you're talking about before you start arguing. There is another way to do it. Start with yourself and think, am I right? Am I the one that is a problem here, or my colleague? Before you lash out. Now, another thing that the author is telling us to do is our choice of words. We just talk anyhow. Are you the kind of person when you are just angry, all those things keep coming out of your mouth? And when you come there, you say, oh, I shouldn't have used that word. So our choice of words are the greatest hindrance that interferes with our happiness, our progress where we work. You talk to your manager anyhow, next day you're fired. You stay at home and you're hungry. Our words. Your choice of word can build or destroy others. Be specific with the choice of words and use the right questions to clear off strong negative thinking from your mind. Questions can help us. If you are not sure of what the person has done to you or is doing, ask open questions. The 6 honorable men, the what, why, who, and how. So ask such questions to find out why this person wants you to do what they want you to do. So ask questions. Questions can help us. Don't use the reflex questions that will give you only yes or no answer. This cobweb interferes with accurate thinking and causes wrong conclusions when you start with a false assumption. Don't start with false assumption. Sometimes we have already answered the question in our head before you even ask it. So you just tunnel the person to answer what you want them to answer. Even when they are answering what is the right thing, you have something in your mind. Remove that assumption and ask open questions. Listen to the answers, then make a decision based on that. So words are one other thing. The another thing that the author mentioned there is restrictive words. We do it, don't we? All of us, all embracive word. We said, everyone does it. It's only me. It never happens to others. It's only, how do you know? How do you know? Have an open mind. Clear up the mind with all these false premises and clear off your mind. Because this believing that everyone does it, it is only me, it is always everyone, anytime I do it, they don't accept, but this other person, how do you know? You say it's not possible. How do you know it's impossible? So give yourself a break and think. Remove all these all-embracive words and allow yourself to think accurately. Now, the next thing that the author mentioned is necessity. We'll have had it. Necessity is the mother of invention, and also that necessity is the father of crime, depending on the talisman you use. When you use the talisman of PMA, necessity is the mother of invention. When you use necessity with talisman of NMA, necessity is the father of crime. PMA and necessity equals to success and invention. NMA with necessity equals to fraud and crime. Someone that has PMA is motivated to achieve honorable things without violating their integrity or stepping on other people. Whatever they do, because their heart is clear and they think clear. They know, I'm going to get it. I don't have to stop this person and do this and do that for me to get. They go with that honesty and integrity to get what they want. What they want. Why? With NMA, they will tell you, oh, what can I do? In some countries that I can't even mention now, they will tell you, oh, because of necessity, I have to steal, I have to kidnap, I have to kill. Why? And they end up in prison. All this comes from negative mental attitude. In the same country, in the same vicinity, you see some people that have positive mental attitude. They will duck down and say, what do I need? How do I get it in a right way? So necessity is the mother of invention and is the father of crime. Listen to the people in prison. They will tell you it's because of this, it's because of that, but another person use the same thing and get a worthwhile achievement. There's a story that goes, two brothers. One is a multi-millionaire and the other one is wasted his life in prison. And their excuse is, the first one that has PMA said that the father didn't have any money. When they were growing up, they were always hungry, and he vowed that his children would never, ever live like that. And he sat down and figured out how to be successful little by little. And the brother said, because they didn't have money, he didn't have any choice other than to steal. And he ended up in prison. Two brothers from the same parents, different mental attitude, ended differently. Another cobweb that we'll have is ignorance. An ignorant person with PMA, you'll see them, they have an open mind. They don't know it. They don't know what you're talking about. They'll have an open mind to listen out. Okay, what are you talking about? All right, they will listen. They are ready to learn. They are ready to embrace what you have given to them and include it in what they have. But that is not true with somebody that has an MA. Oh, what's she gonna tell me? Oh, please. They don't want to hear you out. They don't want to embrace the truth. They are stuck in their old ways. They keep alive their ignorance and allow it to grow fat. And because they allow it to grow fat, that is why we have a lot of problems in our society today. So these are the things that the author has mentioned, that cobweb that hinders other people. You can have other ones that you can put in. Think about it. Think it through. You find out that those things will link to NMA, negative mental attitude. Now, in summary, in this chapter, we have several mental cobwebs. One is negativity, negative feelings, negative emotions, negative passion, habits, beliefs, prejudice. Take a look at yourself now. Can you make some adjustments? Remember, you are what you think, just as you are what you eat. The second one is seeing the mote in other people's eye. Start with yourself before correcting others. Nobody is perfect. I know it all. It doesn't work in this world. When you start with I know it all, people will run miles from you and you find out that you are isolated and you don't go further. The greatest investment anybody can have is people, the right people with a good mental attitude. Unfortunately, when you see that when you have that kind of dictating other people with mouth, you get people around you that will be telling you you are not good and you won't like them. Another thing in this summary is argument and misunderstanding. Choose your words carefully. False conclusions and assumptions. All these all-inclusive words, limit them. Stop generalizing. Don't paint everybody with one color. The idea that necessity forces dishonesty. Necessity doesn't force dishonesty. It depends on the individual. Clear your thoughts. All these cobwebs are linked to NMA, which persists because of stubborn refusal to embrace change due to lack of open mind. Now, we have the list and are aware of cobwebs that hinder and hold us back. What are we going to do about it? Hold on to them or have an open mind? If you opt in for an open mind, let's explore how to make it a reality. Remember, you are a creator. You can only make it for yourself. Direct your thoughts, control your emotions, and ordain your destiny. This is the end of chapter 3. Next time, I will talk more about open mind. Before then, enjoy yourself. Think about all this. Find the ones you have to incorporate in your life and make yourself better. If you like this, please comment and subscribe to this. This is Ngo Review. Thanks for listening today. Have a lovely day and God bless.